Hey y'all, it's Ladybug Lotus. Welcome back to my channel. This is going to be a video, again, spiritual progress, just recording that stuff. So this is going to be a video about that, primarily in relation to this new moon experience that is now headed to the past, being that today is May the 20th and the new moon was officially yesterday on May 19th. So I hope everybody's doing well. All right. Apparently I still haven't cleared my storage enough, so my my video camera thing, the timer is limiting me. So, but I already wasn't planning for this to be too long. First of all, I want to give a quick update because if you're interested, I have decided to move. I made a decision about my ideas for my channel and all that stuff. Like if I'm gonna create another channel, no, I'm not. What I'm gonna do is just have like a segment on here because I don't want to start all the way from scratch. And then managing, I was having to like go back and forth between multiple accounts because I did attempt to start a whole nother channel for like just my self-love stuff. And then I realized when I was uploading videos, like I had to keep switching back and forth, and it was weird. So just working from my phone, I didn't like that. And so I'm like, you know what? The thing is, y'all, it's just so many different pieces to me. It's just so many different parts to me. There's like, I once told somebody I'm like a prism. I have like, I think it's like 8 sides or something like that the light can reflect off of to make these different colors on each side. Right, so like it's just I'm just multifaceted. So I have just multiple sides to me, multiple faces, just many different things that I'm interested in. So you know what, I'm like, whatever, it'll all just be under Ladybug Lotus. That's fine, because one day when I turn Ladybug Lotus into the more that I eventually see it becoming, all of that will be included within that one platform and domain. So it'll all be here. So I had already uploaded a video without giving this update. So if you see my channel, there's already a video that I uploaded. It's called But First No. And if you notice, I was still trying to process like what was I gonna be calling the channel now, those videos anyway. And that's why I'll be operating as the self-love spiritualist. That's really what became clear, because I think if you watch that video, maybe it's not that one, but I have 2 others that I already did all in the same day, and they all were to start that channel off. So now what I've done is taken the first video and uploaded to this channel. So before, I had decided to go back to calling it self-love spiritualist versus the self-love servant. I was calling myself the self-love servant. So I had rewatched that video back yesterday, and I was like, oh yeah, that could be confusing for anybody who cares to know the details. This is why I'm explaining it. Okay, so here will just be everything. It'll be everything. And look, if it looks like an organized mess, then that's exactly the way my mind works. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, there's just so many different parts to me. At 33 years old, I have to accept this. I cannot act like I'm gonna just be able to choose one thing that I'm interested in doing, or one part of me that I pull from. No, because I'm like the seasons, and I think I got more seasons. You know how we have typically standard 4 seasons: summer, spring, winter, spring, summer, fall. I don't know, I got more, and I think they include like twilight and like like dawn and dusk and like all of that. Like the moon cycles is included up in here, like are the moon phases, yeah, everything. So it's just be all different, so many different parts to me. So if you're confused, hopefully this helps. If you're not, continue to enjoy and whatever, right? Okay. Wanted to give that update. Next thing I wanted to say is pay attention to your dreams. Pay attention to your dreams, okay? Because the reason why I say this is now going into the main topic of this video, which is new moon recap, aka no weapon formed against me shall prosper. aka spiritual warfare is very real, aka dreams are very real. Dreams are real. I keep hearing Ashanti song, dreams are real, and all you have to do is just believe. Dreams are real. And I mean for real dreams. Okay, I'm not talking about what's your dream for your life and what you want to be when you grow. That's what she was talking about. I'm talking about your real dreams you have at night. Pay attention to them shits, all right? Because listen, they're real, okay? And I'm gonna tell a little story, at least pieces of a story that was once told to me, if not a couple of different times from a couple of different people, about them and their dreams, and realizing that like they were actually being attacked, waking up with scratches and shit, after realizing they had like a turbulent sleep. Okay, really that's all I have to say about that. But I've been told that about that experience from multiple people in the past. I had never really had that for real. Today I woke up with a scratch on my face. I'm gonna be honest, it's not that apparent, especially with this camera that gives me an automatic filter. Ooh, I think I see it. There it is. I could feel it. So it might be really faint, but I can feel it. On top of that, y'all, I don't have nails. I don't have nails, okay? I don't have nails. Do you see my nails? You can see, look, okay, if I was to scratch myself, maybe it could have been with this finger. This one. How? Okay? Ask me how. I don't know. I don't think I could have done it. Okay, maybe my thumb. But this is what I'm going to say. Woke up with this, right? But that wasn't the determining factor. That something was going on very powerfully in my energy last night. Okay, another thing that made that clear to me was I had a very difficult time going to sleep, going and staying asleep. Okay, there was a storm that kind of came out of nowhere. I can't lie to you, and I kept seeing the lightning flash. But what was crazy was the thunder was so delayed after the lightning would flash. So at first I was a little confused, and I think I had my headphones on. So then I took my headphones off, and I'm like, oh, okay, that was a lightning, and it's a storm. But the thunder was so far away. So some spirit is kind of trying to tell me right now that there's a significant spiritual meaning there. But okay, so a storm was happening. It was the night of the new moon. Very significant new moon, might I add. And yeah, had a very hard time going to sleep. I had this overwhelming feeling that there was energy in my energy, you know, like guests, uninvited guests in my space, y'all. And I don't have to exaggerate anything. I prefer to live a life of peace. Okay, like I really do. That's why I actually often wonder, like, how long will I really do this YouTube stuff? Because when I'm really at peace for real, I don't like to communicate and too much engage. Like, I like chilling and just being to myself, by myself, chilling. You know, maybe hang out with a friend or something, maybe. But I don't have to. You know, I love to not get phone calls, you know. I mean, I love to not be disturbed, you know, so I don't have to make up none of this shit. I don't need to exaggerate none of it. This really occurred. So last night, because the thing is, my understanding of the new moon, the moon period, first of all, I have respect for the moon's energy and what the moon does for us as humans and the earth. It is a very powerful energy. Just like the sun. The sun is very powerful, right? We know this. Without the sun, we would not have daytime. Without the sun, most of us would perish from the lack of vitamin D. Most of us will be walking around depressed. I recently just changed jobs because my job was a graveyard, so I couldn't really enjoy the daytime like that. Wasn't really looking to do so either. I actually wanted to work graveyard, but then realized I was really suffering mentally. On top of that, being spiritually messed with and bothered. And then yeah, it already having a history of depression. So then while I'm taking a break from that previous job, I realize my body is yearning for more sun. The sun is powerful, the moon is as well. It's just that a lot of people were asleep when the moon is at its most potent um position, and when its energy is most potent. So oftentimes, a lot of people don't honor and respect the operations and the functions and the benefits of the moon. Me, I'm a moon child. I love the moon. Okay, so I know the moon is a powerful entity, a powerful symbol, all of that. Okay. And then on top of that, I'm a woman, and I have noticed how my own monthly cycles are very much in tune with the moon. Okay? I'm just saying. So, all right. So when it comes to the moon, the new moon and stuff, and I feel like saying this because I feel like I'm hearing questions such as, well, that's only because that's what you're into, so then that stuff happens to you. No, that's not it. Look, let me tell you something. That's not it, because I've been into the moon. I've been into nature. To me, the sun, moon, all that, that's a part of nature. Just like trees, just like grass, just like birds and animals, which I also love. Water, the ocean, beach. I'm from California, loving the beaches, loving to go hiking. It's all part of the same situation. It's the natural system of our lives. Like, we can't just ignore these things. Like, you want to just ignore these things around you? Fine, go live in a fucking laboratory and never come back out. We've seen movies where that happens. Yeah, I bet that's how they'd like for us to have to live. Why? Because nature is so important to the healthy development of the human being, animals, all of those things. I liken myself to a plant, to a tree, to other natural beings that directly benefit and must benefit from energy such as the sun, rain, the wind, oxygen, the moon, like all of it, in order to properly survive and develop. All right. So I respect it all. That's all. I just respect it all. Okay. So I'm not going to act like I don't recognize how the moon affects my energy in terms of like when I'm full on 10 and 20 and I'm super hype and I'm on go. And then other times when I just want to rest, I'm more internal, I'm more withdrawn, like doing my research because I'm such a nerd and I love to study and do research, and just know the whys to things, at least study the whys and try and find the whys to things. I've done that a lot in terms of energy and my own energetic patterns, coming across information where other folks, many other folks have found similar answers, the same. They are saying the same things. They're coming across the same universal natural truths. Okay? So that's all that is. So when I say that this thing was going on, Spirit was telling me today, like, go ahead, talk about it, because for me this is not normal. Okay, this doesn't happen, at least not my awareness of it. But I think that's one thing that's happening, because I've been learning that this type of situation been basically occurring to me basically my whole life. Basically, people playing in my energy who understand energy much better than I do in terms of how to try and control it, manipulate it. That's not the wave I'm on. Yeah, I love the whole live and let live type of thing. Let people show you their truth so that you can really know what to do with them, how to move around them, how to, decide like if they belong in your life or not, that type of thing. I don't need the, I don't really respect the whole manipulative tactics in order to try and control somebody, in order to try and limit somebody. And, like, that's just not my, it's not my jizz. It's not my wave that I intentionally ride. There are people out here who intentionally surf the fuck out of them types of waves. And if they had it up to them, they'd create those type of waves. And some of them actually try, maybe succeed. Many people will actually try, okay, to actually create those types of waves. So that's what I'm talking about. I've been coming into the knowing and the realization that I have been on the end of being targeted and utilized for energetic purposes or whatever. I don't feel like I'll know all the details until the people who, are the culprits tell me the 100% truth from their mouths one day. But today, I don't care for them to do that. Today, it is about me trusting my intuition, trusting my dreams, trusting my energy, and trusting when I feel like I'm hearing spirit and my higher self speak to me. All right. So, yes, y'all, I had a dream. So first, yes, that was one thing. It being very difficult for me to fall asleep and stay asleep. Okay, so I feel like that was happening because what I'm feeling intuitively, spirit wanted, and my spiritual team and guidance needed me to be awake and aware of the presence of foreign energies in my space. And that's exactly what I was feeling. I just kept on feeling the need to like look around, and I don't reside in fear. I don't. So this is not something I usually do. Oftentimes I'll do that when I feel like, oh, a bug may have I keep talking about bugs. A bug may have creeped up into my place, and I gotta make sure I find. But I've been doing really good with like keeping my air controlled in a way where they haven't been coming in, and I haven't been having to freeze myself out. Okay, so there's that. But no, it was something else. It was like there was energy in my personal space that did not belong. Okay. And when I would fall asleep, I would have these crazy ass dreams. But again, dreams, quote unquote, because again, I woke up with a scratch on my face. That to me, it never happens. I don't scratch myself. Like if anything, I might if I'm really stressed or anxious, I might grind my teeth. I think I used to do that more often when I was younger, so I stayed with headaches, but it's not very common these days. Sometimes it happens. It has to be a very stressful time, which is not as common for me as it used to be. But so what happens is, the dream state, like I can't say it was just fully a dream. So it was all in the mind. Like, no, it was a spiritual situation. And I tell you, I discovered much more about myself than I ever had before in a spiritual sense on the night of the new moon. Only because of what was being done to me and what others were attempting to do to me. I have to also tell y'all, hey, that I've been going through like processes where I have to determine like, who stays in my life from my past, and not just like that, but like who do I remain connected to, who do I remain trusting of. And I must tell you that as of today, I have had to get to a point to where it's like, I don't know. I cannot, I don't see I don't see one. I can't find one from my past. And when I say my past, I'm mainly talking about my family, friends that I may have like grown up with, stuff like that. Like, I don't know one. And at the end of the day, it's really no fault to them. It's more so a thing of spirit trying to teach me, hey, it's all about the union within yourself. It's all about you owning your life. It's all about you tending to your needs and not depending on others for the sake of your own well-being. And that's crazy that I just say that, because a couple of nights ago, if not 3 or something, I had a dream where it was clearly written. I saw the words written on something. I think it was a headband or something, and the words said independent. And it was crazy because it was like all these choices of these different headbands and hats and wraps, and y'all know I like to wear head wraps. And they were all being taken. It was me and multiple other girls, and all of these head wraps and headbands was being taken. And it's funny because I have not been wanting to embrace the concept of independence. I've been wanting more so embrace that of interdependence, like uniting with someone and like being with someone and blah, 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 and in love, relationship, go out on dates and all that stuff. And so I had this dream, and I had this conflict not posed to me, but made clear to me that I have been having on the inside. Not really just the inside, but also it's been showing itself to be real, very real in my life, where, you know, I wasn't wanting to embrace that concept of independence. And so I was hesitant to get the headband that said independent on it. And to be honest with you, I don't even remember if I grabbed it or not. It was like that one and then another one that had like nothing on it. And I just remember being like, dang, nobody else want the independence one. Like, that's not the one we supposed to be getting no more. We don't want to be independent. We want, you know, they tried to, that was a curse they tried to throw on us and da 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 da. And you know what? Now it's like, you know, hey, internet, like, listen, that's not for everybody. Like, everybody is not the exact same. There is no general law situation when it comes to what does this look like. If you're supposed to be independent, if you're supposed to be dependent, it's because it's about what you need. It's about what somebody needs, what a soul needs in order to develop and transcend this life and ascend into your higher life. I believe that I'm a soul put on this earth that is not to have to depend on others for the sake of that process. Some of us are put here to learn how to depend on others and learn how to work with others. And some of us here, we already gone through those types of cycles and learning lessons. And now we have to learn how to be more self-trusting, learn what our own gifts are, learn how we can depend on ourselves. And take care of ourselves. So I don't know what I was doing in the past life. Maybe I just had the best dependence situation. Maybe I was a codependent. I don't know. But sometimes I say when you want to look at, when you want to know, when you want to like find hints in regards to who you were in the past life, look at your early childhood. And I know for sure growing up, I was highly family oriented, despite everything that would be going on, despite all the hurt, pain, and abuse that I even experienced myself. I was still very highly family oriented, always truly hurting, but like logically putting the good of the group above myself. Whew. And I think so now, like my North Node type of situation is to do the opposite of that, regardless of how people feel. So that's where I'm at in life. So anyway, I think the point of that dream and that spiritual situation was to show me like this is your path and it's okay, regardless of what social media is pushing and what's the community conversation in regards to that. Black women being too independent, and that's why black women be single and blah 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 blah. And it's like, obviously it's not every black woman, because I see so much regarding facts that show that the opposite is also true. But in terms of me as an individual, what is it that I need to be looking out for and accepting and embracing and admitting? Y'all, I love my individuality. I do. So I have gone back and forth with that for a very long time. Like, do I want to be with somebody, or do I want to just stay by myself? Or if I'm with somebody, how do I want to be with them? Do I want to live with them? Or do I just want to keep my own place? And then, all that type of stuff. So I don't know, perhaps I'm going through some real big lessons in that area, because perhaps something's coming where I'm going to have to make sure that's made clear to not just myself, but to whomever is perhaps seeking partnership with me. Now back to this new moon situation, okay? Y'all, I was being attacked. On I want to say on a level I've never been attacked on, but instead I'm going to say on a level that I've never been so conscious and aware of before. And it was coming from every direction, like in a blur, or like, basically it was a blur in terms of the who. I can just tell you what I felt. I just felt all these very familiar energies, okay? So I'm getting energies of family, you know what I mean? Energies of folks that I know, and so, man, y'all, I remember seeing myself doing like spiritual acrobatics, like, and I was handling my own. And what's crazy is that's how I was when I was younger, when I had to fight. I handled my own. Like, I always handled mine. Let me just say that. And so I just feel like, again, our physical and earthly experiences don't occur for no reason. They occur, especially when we're younger, to give us hints as to what's going on with us in the spiritual world and what may eventually become the most important thing going on with you. Eventually, if you ascend that high, and I do feel like I've gotten to a place where at this point now, It's very important for me to be much more aware of what's happening on the spiritual end, for me knowing that the spiritual is going to manifest and turn into the physical eventually. So it's kind of like surgery, like taking care of the inside in order for you to just live as whole as possible. If the organ on the inside needs surgery, you're not going to do surgery on the outer part of the body. You're going to have to cut it open and get in there. And I feel like that's kind of how the spirituality situation is working. So anyway, y'all, new moon night, basically to say in a nutshell, folks was coming for me. My intuition, my dreams are led up to that day, up to that night. Spiritual readings, a whole bunch of different things. Oh, synchronicities like a mug. Oh my gosh. Spirit just telling me, pay attention, trust your intuition, move based on your intuition. So like one of those things that happened was yesterday during the full moon. I got a call from a person who doesn't usually call me, but in regards to our relationship, I believe that perhaps they could call more often just because of what our relationship is, right? But unfortunately, before the new moon day came, I have been getting too many hints that this person is not actually to be trusted. Maybe that's why they don't call you that often, because it's a facade that they need to hold up, and it's very hard for people to hold up facades when they're trying to talk, right? Like especially if they're not well versed. I mean, I've dealt with one of the probably worst narcissists you'll ever meet, and even he could barely be confident in terms of the speaking. When he would work his magic in the texting, he'd get you there to then, okay, well, now I'll call her. But without that texting, to then get to the point of like, okay, it's good to go in with my gift of gab, he ain't moving. You ain't moving nothing. So basically this person who called me, a relative, somebody dearly beloved, and unfortunately for me, I'm like, damn, you want to call me on the new moon? And I was already having suspicions that this person had also been doing spell work against me. And again, when I say spell work, she can be somewhere over a fucking witch bowl or whatever that thing is called, the goblet or whatever. You could be in the mirror chanting mantras against me. You could be writing my name down on something, or shit, you could just be saying a fucking prayer, or you could just be harboring very evil, negative thoughts in my direction. You could be looking at my pictures with very negative thoughts, powerful, emotionally fed thoughts that manifest into something. That's spell work, y'all. Intentional or non-intentional. So unfortunately, this person who I've had a big heart for, I've been getting these signs, these hints, these dreams, which I more so refer to as premonitions these days. Like, it's been showing me like this is to be questioned. Don't just continue being naive and gullible to the situation and relationship no more. Because if you think back to since y'all was children, you being the younger, how many times did this person like not like have your back for real? How many times did you see this person reveal a very ugly, disturbing side to them, maybe very briefly, but very powerfully, to where it would make you uncomfortable? And unfortunately, it has happened multiple times, and it's just that it's crazy because this person has hid that type of thing for me. I don't know, hid it, or I just been stupid. Who knows? I don't know. I know I haven't been as hip to, whatever this person's other truths are besides that I usually pay most attention to. So anyway, I've been getting like engagement and communication from this person at very weird times of the like just times recently. Like one day recently it was like midnight, and that was very unusual, and it was just a text of like I love you, and it's just unusual, and mind you, this is as the spirituality stuff, the spiritual warfare is kind of like increasing, or at least becoming more clear to me that this shit really be going on. So that was weird. And then it was like my address was requested, so I shared it. I gave it to them, and I was sent a gift, and I don't know, I just kind of felt funny about it, given that the spiritual warfare has been at, I don't know if it's an all-time high or just my consciousness of it is at an all-time high. So I didn't want to keep the object in my space. And I was especially after realizing that somebody I used to date was gifting me things all the time. And I really was confused, because I'm like, well, you don't want to be my boyfriend, but you keep giving me gifts. And for me, gifts ain't a love language. It's like, it's nice. Thank you so much. But I'm like, my love language is like quality time, memories. Let's create memories. You give me a gift that can break, that I can lose, it can collect dust. Like, I might eventually give it away because I don't like to like accrue too many things. I'm not a minimalist, but if I was, I'd be very proud of myself. So I do like lean in that direction, just not having a bunch of things for no reason. So anyway, I'm not really big on that, and I've tried to make that clear, but instead this person like chooses to gift me things, and or would choose. We're not connected no more. Would choose to gift me things, and of course I express appreciation and all that stuff. And then other times I still try to make it clear, like, what matters most to me is your time, like our efforts to connect, to get to know each other, to that type of stuff. That's just me. So, and then on top of that, I'm like, why are you giving me gifts and you don't want to be my boyfriend? Like, you're basically pulling on my heartstrings, because it's mattering to me, especially if the items are thoughtful. It's gonna matter to me. Not saying I don't appreciate it, not saying it don't matter to me. I'm just saying, like, if I was to tell you, if you was to ask me, hey, what do you want to, which this happened, what do you want to do for your birthday? And I say, this is what I want to do. And I list what I want to do. Or I think I was asked, what do I want for my birthday? So then I listed things that I want to do. It was nothing that I said I wanted you to give me, but you asked me what I wanted, and I'll tell you what I want to do, which tells you I want to do something with you for my birthday. And then you respond back with, well, that's all nice and stuff, but I was meaning, like, what would you like that I could buy you? I literally said, well, you'll have to get back to me because I don't know at the moment. But, gosh, such a sad memory, because we never did none of the things that I said I wanted to do. So anyway, sorry for that flashback. It doesn't make me feel good, but I'm still healing from that situation, that relationship with that person, which included that moment and similar. Okay, anyway, but that person who I eventually had to talk about at least a little bit about the concept of spell work, and ask, like, hey, have you ever done spell work, like, on somebody, like, cast spells or whatever? And I remember the response that I got, and it made me feel like the person was lying. And so I started feeling like, well, I eventually had a dream that I was waking up next to a warlock, and I just kind of felt like either it was that person, or it was somebody from my past that was like in this person's energy, because this person wasn't utilizing their own energy in a authoritative way. So somebody more powerful from my past was utilizing this person's energy in order to get to me. That's what it eventually came out to feel like, to look like in my dreams. It was almost like this person that was closest to me was being utilized almost like a energetic hoe, I must say, like multiple people, like, utilizing this person's vessel for the sake of getting to me, or like the sake of affecting me. And I promise, it came up in my dreams, y'all. It came up in my dreams, and there were many other synchronicities that would have me see others through him, like others from my past who I've walked away from, distanced myself from, moved away from, cut out of my life, probably hurt or whatever because of those type of decisions by me. And they would show up through him in dreams, through dates, and just very weird shit. So this was the person who would be gifting me things, and I'd be like, well, you don't even want to be my boyfriend. So you wanted me to be attached to you. You don't want to just keep it friendship, because when I try to do that, you don't want to keep it there, right? And then I express, well, that's difficult for me to do because I love you for real, you know? And so anyway, eventually got to a point to where I had to throw out the gifts, y'all, because I would be trying to keep myself separate from this person, and it would be hard. And I know a part of it is me, but then other times it would feel like it was coming from somewhere else. And also, this was somebody who often seemed that he was reading my mind. It just seemed that way. He would say things where I'm like, how the fuck do you know that I'm doing that right now? You know what I mean? Like one time I was eating cereal, he was eating something else. He was already talking about him eating something else. He was making the dinner and texting me pictures. It was nothing near no cereal. It was like tacos or something like that. And out of nowhere, it was like, oh, by the way, do you eat cereal? And I'm eating cereal. And mind you, rarely eat cereal. But I'm eating cereal at the moment. And he asked me, do you eat cereal? And I'm like, what the hell made you ask me that? And then he said something talking about, well, because he was eating cereal or something. I'm like, nah. In my head, I'm like, well, that don't make sense, because you was just telling me you making tacos and sending me pictures of that. You eating. All right, whatever. And then at one point, he was like, and no, I'm not looking through your window. So I'm like, all right. So anyway, there was just like multiple different things that had occurred where it was very often like, damn, we in sync. Me loving synchronicities, I would be taking this stuff like, that's a good sign. But then when I'd be trying to keep myself separated from this person just because I'm trying to like get myself together emotionally, because you don't want to be my boyfriend, but yet you want me attached to you, yet you want the benefits of me as if I'm your girlfriend. So that's not okay. So I have to take steps to get myself good, make sure I'm protected, yada yada yada. And yet I have your energy in my space because of these gifts that you've been so insistent about giving me. Now one had I asked for. Now one. You know? And on top of that, this is somebody who don't even got money like that. I'm sorry. I just gotta say it, like, struggling financially. And so it's like, you're not really benefiting from giving me anything. Oh, but are you? Right? Like in other ways. So anyway, I'm just saying, look out for it. Maybe it's just me. Who knows? So, anyway, that was the talk about the gifts, okay? So I said that because, yes, this person who had called me on the new moon, my relative, I thought it was very strange. When I got the call, I'm like, wow, okay. I already been having suspicions about this person because of my dreams, you know, and sometimes I overthink and I don't take my dreams for face value. But I've learned, like, if I have a dream and I remember it and it was intense, don't forget it. Like, don't just let it go. You may not know the exact meaning right away, and it might even take you some time to know what the exact meaning is. But don't just throw it away as if it's just trash. That's some of the most precious, treasured information that you'll ever get. Okay, so like, I've gotten answers to questions that I've posed before going to sleep, all types of stuff. Okay, so this person called me and I had to go within, like, hold on, wait a minute. First of all, I missed the call. So it wasn't like I ignored it, but I missed it. But then I noticed that I missed it. And I was just right away uncomfortable, okay? So then I'm like, when was the last time this person called my phone? And here it is, new moon. That's when people really get into this shit, y'all. These moon phases, okay? They want to live in the day, and in the moon, they want to play, right? Under the moon, they want to play and manipulate in order to come out in the daytime and live the way they want to live. That just came to me as a download. You better take it, write it down, note it. Don't forget it. I know I won't. They want to live in the daytime, appearing as however they've intended to, based on their manipulations and sorceries and all of that stuff that they've been doing in relation to the moon. Okay, so I immediately, my mind goes, when was the last time this person called you? And now they're calling you on the day of the new moon, after also randomly sending you a gift not too long ago, and then weirdly texting you at like midnight one night recently with just saying I love you and I'm sorry, but the way that me and this person's relationship has been, and then our extended relationships where we have mutual relationships with other people in our family, it's just been weird, okay, and different, and not the most healthy, okay. So yeah, y'all, I had to go within, like, when was the last time she called me for real, like, cause it's new moon, and I'm getting more hip to this stuff. Mind you, this person is older than me, married with kids, all that, so could be more in the know in regards to this stuff, right? So I do feel like I'm learning. I'm a babe in this. So anyway, but something told me, like, cause I'm like, nah, she don't even be calling me like that. And for me, it was like new moon. It was the middle of the day. You're supposed to be working, cause it was a Thursday or a Friday. So for me, like, that was strange. So I'm like, okay, let me go review my call log. And I was right. My call log went all the way back in terms of my history with this person, all the way back to September 2022. Outgoing. All the calls that had occurred, they were all outgoing. Now, has she we've texted? Yes. But since September, and when I tell y'all this is somebody who is a significant relationship, I ought to have calls, right? Like, I live across the country, I moved. You should be calling. I think we should be calling each other. There were several calls that were outgoing across the months. It only went back to September. Okay, and so then I counted the months. I said September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May. That's 8 months, y'all. And that's just going back to September. I can't tell you for facts when it was before that she had called, but for 8 months. Then I had to also think about the fact that, okay, for my birthday, perhaps, maybe, she may have called on the house phone, their house phone, with my nephews in them, I think. I do believe there was a call with my nephews or something like that, that I had gotten for my birthday or something like that. But still, this one-on-one situation, it should be very significant, because this person doesn't even keep the door open really for me to connect with the rest of, like, their part of the family through, I don't want to say too much. This particular one hurt a little bit more than the rest, because this was more sacred to me. But I think I've been just under an illusion all this time, about 25 plus years, longer than that, 28 plus years at least. So kind of hurt for real. But there's been hurt in the past. I just would, for the sake of more so their feelings, to be honest, I would let stuff go. I would forget things. I would ignore things. In my eyes, this person could do no wrong. Like, I know that's not healthy, but it was a traumatized, dysfunctional ass household we grew up in. But also the way this person would pose themselves to me whenever possible. It was as if they would never do no wrong to me. But now I'm just being awakened, and even right now, even more so. And it's like, you're silly, girl. You silly girl. Don't ever do that to yourself ever again. Because I'm just, more things from our time together over the years is just, it's like, eat the truth. See the truth, smell it, sniff it, consume it, chew that shit up and swallow it, and feel how it feels. Not good. And accept that shit. Because that's what it is. Now, if the future shall look different from the past, beautiful. But that is not on me. it's on me for it to look different in terms of my space. So today I had to let that person know, hey, in so many words, like, don't want to talk on the phone. I'm not feeling trusting of almost anybody. And definitely just about nobody from the past. I'm just moving with spirit, going with spirit. I didn't say too much, but I did mention, like, hey, can't ignore dreams and spirit and intuition, and did say I prefer to be left alone from just about, all y'all over there. And, there's love, but I come first, right? With me. So, it was a duty I had to do. Spirit was pressing on me, like, do it now. And, I've kind of had to send that type of message to a few other people in the past recently, like, not all at once. Everybody has had their moment. And this one it was hard. I think the last one was probably harder. Not harder, sorry. The last one was hard too. This one was even harder. But it is what it is. You got to do what you got to do. You know what I mean? And so I'm just saying, spiritual warfare is real. Pay attention to your dreams for real. I also say honor silence. Okay? Honor silence so that you can hear more of what's going on the inside of you. So much external noise can really make it to where you can't hear your inner truth and your inner voice of truth that's really trying to assist you in navigating this world in the way that's best for you and your well-being and your survival and your existence. Like, so I say that, honor silence for real. Pay attention to your dreams. Know that, as long as you know who you are and you're being obedient to your spirit, I'm not coming with no dogmatic shit. It's yours as an individual. Whatever God tells you to do, okay? Because you got a path, and you know what? God got a way that he shows up, she shows up to you, okay, as an individual. That's another thing I've been realizing. Like, things are so individual, and it's not even just realizing, it's something I've been remembering, because I remember being so heavy about this at a time before. It ain't about, communal, mass level situations. It's really about your individual relationship with the spiritual authority in your life, okay? So I'll say, just pay attention to your dreams. Dreams are real. Spiritual warfare is real. And follow your intuition. Listen to your intuition. Follow your spirit, and I guess you'll be all right. But as for me, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. So I'm just letting you know, I'm out here battling in these spiritual streets for real. I had a real battle, and I can remember I can remember a lot of it. Like I said, my opposition was a blur, but you let that shit sink in, it'll all start to come and illuminate, and you just don't pay attention to what's been going on before, and pay attention to synchronicities happening around you in the light of day when you're at work, grocery store, driving. Pay attention to the synchronicities, because boy, I've been having some real powerful ones, and I love it, because that lets you know you are in tune. So then when things start coming through, like, and you start thinking, am I tripping? Well, have you been having all these synchronicities happening? No, love, you're not tripping. All those synchronicities is to show you, hey, it's like stepping stones, so that you got to this point, and it's like, now this truth then came before you. No, you're not tripping. You was led up to this point so that you can know this is facts. Where's the lie? It can't be found, because this is facts. Don't question it. Take care of yourself. Protect yourself. Know who you are. Remember who you are. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. Okay, y'all. Until next time, I gotta go. Bye.